Well, since I have you all here today, I wanted to have a conversation around how I should be shopping for health benefits as a small business owner. So first, who really should be involved in that process?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. And typically with the groups that we're working with, they are, in fact, those small businesses. So more often than not, small business is not going to have, a full HR function, an ops function, a finance function. So it tends to really be the owner, the CEO, the founder, the person who's driving the business.
Yeah, and consider like people with, the person knows the employees the best, right? And, small businesses, a lot of people wear many hats. So you are going to have a person that's taken over some of those roles. As they're looking at the pricing, also look at the needs of the employee.
Great. So if I'm coming into this conversation, how do I even know that I'm ready to shop for health benefits?
It comes from the need of the employees. So a business owner, they're starting to hear the rattle of people asking about it, starting to inquire about it. And if that demand exists, if that need exists, that typically means it's time to start looking around.
What types of things should I be considering before I'm even starting the shopping process?
Really just understanding the needs of the healthcare needs of the workforce. So, you're not going to get into granular detail with that, obviously for various reasons, but, just understanding generally what people expect, how they tend to use their health insurance and what kind of access they need to the system. And that can at least provide a baseline as you're going in and starting to shop around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and consider also the contribution aspect is something early on to consider. Just, knowing what your cost is going to be as well as their cost and how you can help with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, since you're all involved in these conversations every day, are there specific questions that you're getting a lot? Any specific questions that I should be asking my employees?
Any specific questions that you should be asking your employees? Like, what kind of services are they expecting to do, like, throughout the year, healthcare related? You could get into premium costs. What do you think they could afford? Is something that you definitely want to consider. But just taking in the overall, what kind of health services does an employee expect they're going to need throughout the year, and what they can afford, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's just taking a realistic look, honestly. A business owner knows how much they're paying their employees. They should have a broad understanding of, if they're getting access to insurance through spouses or through other governmental plans. And so at least at a baseline, having an idea of, the types of the people that need coverage, and then ultimately the type of coverage that they're going to need. And then, we can get into the details of that, but more often than not, I think if you're at that level, when you're starting to shop, you're usually in a pretty good spot.
Mm-hmm. And then kind of in a similar vein, are there any questions that you really commonly get when speaking to the people buying?
More often than not, when people come in and they start talking to us, they want to understand how things are structured, how they work, what the plans cover. But they also, because we're outside of the most commonly known names, we refer to them as the BUCAs, but the Blue Cross Blue Shield, United, Cigna, Aetnas. Meridio is not necessarily a household name, so just getting in, understanding our approach, the way that we think about healthcare, the way that we think about health insurance. That's usually one of the first conversations that we're having with folks, just to put their mind at ease and fill them in on our perspective.
Mm-hmm. So then after all this conversation, talk to me more about what's next. What can I expect from Meridio's end, and what's needed from my end in order to have a good, successful benefits enrollment?
Definitely advocacy for the benefits you've chosen for your employees. And, one thing that we see for successful enrollment is definitely on that contribution side, make sure it's something that, it's affordable to you, but also is showing that you're caring and that you have, skin in the game for, helping them out. It's important, and that it's definitely noticed, because, you go to Marketplace and you come straight out of pocket on that. that's a car to a mortgage payment, depending on what you're going through.
Yeah. Any amount of, additional money that the business owner can offer goes a long way to helping enrollment.
Yes.